Americans have the right to go into our federal courts and have their cases judged based on the Constitution and our laws, not on politics or personal feelings. The lower court's belief that citizens should be reduced to racial statistics is flawed. It only divides people who don't wish to be divided along racial lines. The very reason we have civil service rules is to root out politics, discrimination, and nepotism.
Now, that was Frank Ritchie, the firefighter who successfully sued the city of New Haven for racial discrimination, testifying before the Senate Judiciary Committee. That was earlier today. Judge Sonia Sotomayor dismissed Ritchie's case out of hand while serving on the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. Now, the Supreme Court overturned that decision 5-4, but all 9 justices agreed that the case should have been handled differently. Now, Frank Ritchie and fellow New Haven firefighter Matthew Marcarelli join me now. Guys, welcome back. And let me ask one question. I'll start at the end and work my way backwards. And Frank, I'll start with you. Do you want Judge Sonia Sotomayor on the Supreme Court?
Sean, as I said today, that's really beyond my legal expertise. So my experience with her was only that much of a paragraph. We didn't even get a legal opinion from her. So the only thing I knew was that much. And really the sad thing was that she brought up my dyslexia, and the fact is it kind of took on a life of its own and made the case about Frank Ritchie when really it was about Matt Marcarelli, Chris Parker, and the 20 other New Haven firefighters that took this case forward. It was all 20 of us standing together, bringing this to the forefront.
Yeah, all right. Well, look, there's a lot that you testified to today, and one of the things you said that you had studied harder than you ever had. You made flashcards, you were reading, you were listening to prepared tapes, you were a virtual absentee father in the process. And you also talked about how important this test was in terms of getting the best person for the job in that position. So in many ways, Sonia Sotomayor denied you the promotion that you worked hard to achieve. So she didn't really provide you equal justice under the law, did she?
Well, I think the panel denied us equal justice under the law, but thank God we live in America and the process worked. The press actually brought it to the attention of a prominent judge who took issue with it and saw what was happening to us was wrong, and the process continued, and we went to the United States Supreme Court, and we were successful. And my grandmother said, in America, you don't always get what you deserve. Sometimes you get better.
All right, but Matthew, all right, you got what you want in the end result, but I guess we could all say without the help of Sonia Sotomayor.
Well, I think the way we have to look at it is that ultimately when we got to the Supreme Court, we got a fair hearing. And just as she's getting a fair hearing over this past week, that's what we hope to achieve. And that's what we're really happy about. It showed that our hard work paid off, and ultimately the system of checks and balances that's in place worked for us in our particular case.
Frank, you said the more attention that your case got, the more people tried to distort it. Can you explain that?
Well, there was a lot of things. As I'm sure everybody knows, I was attacked by the left bloggers. They attacked my resume. They attacked my credibility, which was very insulting. But also, the city put forth this argument that no minorities would get promoted, and it was a lie. I mean, if the city took no action, you're looking at 3 qualified African Americans promoted to lieutenant and 2 qualified Hispanics to captain. One happens to be my supervisor, Luis Rivera, that I work for. I mean, everybody worked hard. It wasn't just the 20 of us. Everybody who took that test applied themselves, worked hard, and the rules of the game were set, and we earned our promotions.
In many ways, though, Frank, you became the latest version of Joe the Plumber. I saw there was an orchestrated, well-organized...
I've seen Frank do plumbing in it.
What's that?
I've seen Frank do plumbing in it. It's not too good.
Well, maybe we could say we have Joe the Plumber, we have Frank the firefighter here. But Frank, I saw it was a well-orchestrated, well-organized campaign to smear you. What was that like?
It was very disheartening. I mean, we all knew in our heart that it was lies, and so And it was so nice, and it was phenomenal to have council as well as the 20 firefighters. They came down to Washington, D.C. to stand behind us today. And the outpouring from firefighters from all over the country, Camden, New Jersey, Los Angeles, I mean, just all over to support us has just been unbelievable.
I'm listening to both of you guys, and I think you're being very gracious, and it seems to me that you don't want to get too involved in the political process, and I kind of understand that. Matthew, I don't know if I would be as gracious as you are. In other words, because Sonia Sotomayor, this is a lifetime appointment. She's going to impact issues of the rights of other individuals if she gets on the court. And clearly she probably would handle your case or a similar case the same way. Does that bother you in that sense that if she gets this position, and it appears she will, that she could do this again to somebody else?
I would hope not. However, if you listen to her testimony, as we did throughout the 2 days that we were there, she's certainly giving the impression that she intends not to do that. So that's all we can really hope for.
Yeah, listen, I know you guys, if I'm in a fire, if I need rescue, I want both of you guys there. I can tell you're really good at your job. I think I'm pretty good at analyzing the political world, and I now refer to her as the judge that used to be known as Sonia Sotomayor, because I see an entirely different individual, testifying that wants a job on the Supreme Court versus the person that I once saw and some of the comments she made and some of the positions she held. Does that concern you, Frank, at all?
Sean, to be honest, our family sacrificed so much, and even coming down to Washington this week, it's, and preparing for testimony, I really didn't get to see a lot of the testimony. I'm looking forward. My son won the soapbox derbies and the national championships. And we're going to Ohio next week, and I'm looking forward to focusing on him for a week instead of me.
Well, listen, in all honesty, you know what? You guys work really, really hard. I mean, to me, this is the American dream. You studied, you prepared, you worked really hard, you were denied your opportunity, and yet, in the end, you won out because you persevered. I have great admiration not only for what you do as firefighters, but for your battle in what I think is a really important issue, that we ought not be a country that discriminates in any way, shape, manner, or form. So I congratulate you both. I think you're both extremely gracious, and I appreciate you being here.
Thanks, Sean. We hope to see you at that swearing in.
Sean, you're a great American.
You guys are great Americans. Thank you.